There's some things about growing a YouTube channel that only time will teach you, unless you have a friend like me who is making an analytic video to show you going off of my one YouTube video that ranks in first place on YouTube and then pulling that information back over to my other current videos. We're gonna get into the analytics. It is juicy and it is good. But if you're new here, I am Liz and I am actually obsessed with YouTube. So this channel, I share with you the ups and the downs of my growing a YouTube channel. I always want to support the growing YouTube community, so let's get a shout out to another growing YouTuber, Miss Jeannie Lynch. If you are into any of the spirituality things, definitely want to check out her channel. Let's show you the analytics I'm talking about. This is why you want to hang out and watch this video. I know the struggle is real when you are a growing YouTuber. I hate that phrase small YouTuber, and I think we should all say growing YouTubers because we are growing our channels and that's awesome. And it can feel like you're producing content and it's not getting seen by anybody. Your views aren't climbing and it's just all happening so slow. What I want to do with this video is I want to show you how to find that light in the tunnel. How you can look at your analytics in a whole new way to look for signs that those videos are actually on track and they actually are going to get traction in the algorithm. It may just take, it seems to be about 3 months is the magic number. I am going to show you guys how this looks in Google search and in suggested videos. We talk a lot about traffic sources when you're having a YouTube channel, and I think it's so cool that we are going to be able to look at how this worked out for YouTube search and for suggested videos. The first video we're looking at is this video right here that I made that ranks in YouTube search, and it's consistently getting me good views on this video for YouTube search based on how many people are searching for that search term. What's really important is 27 days in, this video only had 113 views. In fact, if we back it up even more, in the first 3 days, it only had 40 views. At the time of making this, if I was getting 100 views on one of my YouTube videos when I first launched it in like the first 24 hours, that was feeling really good. That was feeling really like success for me as a growing YouTuber. So this video getting, I don't know, in the first day, 30 views, I definitely thought that this video was like not a success. It wasn't going to take off and I really wasn't expecting anything magical to happen. Even 27 days in is when I finally broke that 100 views number. So I definitely thought that this video was a bit of a dud. I had put a lot of work into it. It wasn't taking off and it was a flop. Then pretty much at about the 90-day mark, you can tell. I mean, it's right here. That's when it got really picked up in the YouTube search engine and really started to take off. Let's look at my client's video. When she came out with her YouTube video, first day she had 20 views. In the first 24 days, she had 62 views. Even in the first 48 days, she only had 100 views on this YouTube channel. And this is where, as growing YouTubers, we really start to beat ourselves up. And this is where we can get discouraged and not believe in our YouTube channels and not believe that it's going to take off. That's why I'm here making this video, because there is signs of success. There is signs that we can take from these videos and then put over to our new videos that we've just launched that can encourage us to be like, I am on the right track. This is working. We're gonna do a little detective work on how we can find those signs of YouTube success. And as you can see for her channel, it was almost exactly the same. At about just about that 90-day period is when it really got noticed. It really found its place in the algorithm, and the algorithm knew what to do with that video, where to show it off and who to show it off to. That's the key, is that we are really looking for when YouTube finds, where am I showing off this video and how can I get it into the most people? And when we can understand how that system works, we can start to manipulate that on our videos going forward. Got a little chilly. I needed to get a sweater on. I love analytics. They actually make me so excited. So we are back into my video and I am going to go to see more right here on views. And the magic button we all want to know and love is this button right here, traffic source. That is going to break down those views. Instead of just telling you how many views you have, it's going to tell you where those views came from. And I'm going to show you why this is so important. We already know that this video is getting a ton of views from YouTube search. What we don't know is the breakdown for each one of those algorithmic ways that YouTube shows your video off to people. YouTube has a different algorithm for YouTube search, browse features, for suggested videos, etc., etc. It's a different algorithm for each one. So YouTube is actually like trying out your video. It's like testing it out in all of those different algorithms on all of those different places until one of them hits. That's why when you've heard people say, make your YouTube video to hope that it gets suggested, or make a YouTube video to hope that it gets in search, this is what they're talking about. It was a total light bulb moment for me. I would not have probably realized this without having all of this history of my YouTube channel. That's why I'm so glad I get to share it with you guys. This video clearly is killing it with impression click-through rate on YouTube search. Oddly enough, on browse features, channel pages, and suggested videos, no luck. People aren't into it. For some reason, when it shows up on YouTube search, it has a huge click-through rate. I want to unwind that to go back and look at the first 90 days. And that's where we're looking for those like little light bulbs of information that are showing us really good signs so we aren't getting discouraged. Okay, so this is the screen where the good stuff lives. So you can see when this video first came out, in the first, let's say, week, YouTube was actually trying it out in pretty much all the places. It was actually getting a fair amount of views from channel pages. This is kind of really, really cool. This is so cool. What that means when you get these first views from your channel pages, those are your subscribers or people who are pretty loyal to your content. That's YouTube showing it off to those people first. And that's why you see that little hit of that right at the beginning, right in the first couple days of your YouTube video, and it tested it out in YouTube search. So it was clearly testing it out in all the places, and then it pretty clearly, pretty quickly got a really good click-through rate on YouTube search, and so it kept pushing it out to people through YouTube search. So in the first 90 days, it was getting a 13.5% click-through rate on YouTube search, and in suggested videos or channel pages, it was really a total dud. Now what's crazy about this is that the watch time actually isn't really that high. It's only 1 minute and 51 seconds. The reason why is because when I designed that video, I was showing 4 different ways that you can make or upload a YouTube short with your iPhone. And I'm guessing that people were just jumping to like the one way that suited them. They didn't need to watch all 4 ways if they only had access to the one feature of YouTube Shorts. It's got that 13.5% click-through rate, and it's consistently ranking in first or second place on YouTube search. Switching over to my client's video now. So I've gone ahead and changed her date range to 90 days. Then I'm going to click the see more. Again, we're gonna hit that traffic source, and we can see again what happened to her and why her video took off. In the very, very beginning, she was getting a lot of views from direct or unknown. She emails her videos out to her clients, so that's where she got that initial traction. Then she got some traction in YouTube search, but there wasn't a lot going on. This is where YouTube is testing your video out in all these different areas, testing out where it's going to work, and this is where it's taking some time, but pretty much here, she started to get into suggested videos a little bit more. It tried it out. It kept trying it out, right? We can see it kept trying it out in YouTube search. It kept trying it out in suggested videos. Eventually, suggested videos really started to outweigh YouTube search. YouTube went all in as making that a suggested video content. Her suggested videos, she's got a 7% click-through rate, which maybe isn't the highest click-through rate, but she's got 6 minutes and 42 seconds of watch time. So the reason why the algorithm is suggesting this video out to people is because this is really fitting what the people are looking for when we suggest this video as an option to them, because they're watching it for a really long time. YouTube is definitely looking. It is definitely actively looking for the right place to drop that video for the right person for the right time. We may have just heard my phone ring. A better YouTuber would turn off their phones, and I do not. So what now? What can we do as growing YouTubers to impact this? A couple things. Really keep your eye on that thumbnail. I currently have a video on my channel that, you know, the little like thumbnail that YouTube picks where it's just like a still from the video? You want to watch this reel if you're a YouTuber or you've ever thought about making a YouTube channel and making YouTube content. You see the snazzy thumbnail right here? It is not a snazzy thumbnail. I know, and I made a snazzy thumbnail, but when I launched this video, it was getting a whole bunch of traction off of this kind of basic thumbnail. That's this line you see here. And then I switched it because I had time to make a snazzy thumbnail, and then this happened. So I switched it back. I uploaded my video and I hadn't done a thumbnail yet, but in order to get the video up on time, I just let it go up with my face and the still. I knew that it was going to get showed off to my notifications and to my subscribers first, and they may still click through just because they've seen my face. So for me to custom make a thumbnail for, 4 or 5 hours later wasn't the end of the world. I put that video up and it was getting a massive click-through rate. So I left it there for the duration of the time that it's, my regular viewers, when YouTube's showing it off to the regular viewers. Then I switched to a custom thumbnail after that to continue on getting the click-through rate. This is an example of how we can kind of manipulate that click-through rate. The other thing is, don't always look at that click-through rate, that general click-through rate that it's showing you for your YouTube video, thinking, oh, that click-through rate is totally sucks and I'm not gonna go anywhere and I have to switch out my thumbnail. Just like you saw in the analytics I showed you, you can have 4% click-through rate in suggested videos and have 15% click-through rate in YouTube search. So being able to separate it out and know what's working is really, really key. Other thing is, when those first 90 days, if you feel like as a growing YouTuber, it's just not coming, you're just not getting traction, and it's just not going to happen for you. For me, I'm no longer looking at the numbers on a day-to-day basis. What I am looking for is those little glimmers of success, and I actually get so much fun instead of watching the video performance overall by going into that traffic and that click-through rate analytic that I showed you and looking for those little signs of success. Looking for those times when, ooh, yeah, look at, I'm getting a lot of suggested videos the last couple days, or I'm getting a lot of search ranking the last couple days, and watching YouTube find the placement of your video. I really think that's going to encourage you and show you those signs of success. And if you wonder why my thumbnails always have a purple background, I bet now you know why. Subscribe to the channel because you know you want more of the Liz Loves YouTube, and I'll see you again soon.